right, David. So look, Tom Brady. Well, every year they do the top NFL 100 players, and the players actually vote. And Tom Brady was voted the number one player in the NFL from last year. All right, didn't win MVP, didn't win a Super Bowl, but yeah, he was still number one. All right, so we got to address this, David. Was Tom Brady deserving of the number one spot? All right, so I'm gonna kick this one off. No, he was not. All right, my number one player is Cooper Kupp, man. I think Cooper Kupp should have been the number one person on our list. Now, if you want to put a quarterback, we might disagree right here, David. I will put Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers if we put in the quarterback. All right, and I have my reasons. I'm not sure who you got. We'll see, but I might have to backfire. I don't know. But as far as Cooper Kupp, now I want to know: is this based off last year? Is it based off like the last 3 years? I listened to some shows, and a lot of people said Cooper Kupp shouldn't have been number four. He only has done it 1 year, but this is about last year. I thought, So if it's about last year, I'm giving it Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp earned a triple crown. All right, triple crown. He led the league in TDs, receiving yards, and receptions. And second place in each category was a different receiver, David. It wasn't like it was one person on his tail. It was a different. Devontae Adams, I believe, was second in receptions. I believe Mike Evans was second in TDs, and I forgot who was second in receiving yards. But it was a different person.
It was
Second
Debo.
tier. It was Debo. All right, Debo Samuels, right? Second tier, but Cooper Kupp won all three. Not only that, he carried on to the playoffs. They destroyed the Cardinals. They played Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And who made the clutch plays at the end of the game to win the game? It was Cooper Kupp. He caught those two receptions to get them in field goal range to win that game. And then you look in the Super Bowl. Who was the guy that won in the Super Bowl? Now, some people might say Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald did make some plays, but Cooper Kupp made the play to get the points on the board for them to win that game. I think on that last drive, and if I'm not mistaken, he had either 5 or 6 receptions. If I'm not mistaken, it was something like that, something crazy on the last drive, right? That he just took over that last drive, got the touchdown, and he won Super Bowl MVP. So not only he was a triple crown player who should have, in my opinion, won MVP last year, not Aaron Rodgers. Cooper Kupp also wins Super Bowl MVP. So in my opinion, the best player on that list should have been Cooper Kupp. But if you want to take away his because he's a receiver, he's relying on others, then I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Tom Brady. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, so I agree with it being Cooper Cup being number one. I thought that he deserved to be number one overall. I mean, he had the most historic season of a receiver of any receiver in NFL history. Um, he had what 22 touchdowns as a receiver, 22, 23 touchdowns as a receiver,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
over
No, he only had 16.
16.
Yeah,
Well,
he had 16.
still, he led the league in touchdowns, led the league in receiving yards, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Debo had what 14, I think 1,400 receiving yards maybe. He wasn't close to what Cooper Cup had, and then catches Devontae wasn't close to what Cooper Cup had. Devontae only had what 90
No,
something.
Devontae had no. All right, Cooper Kupp had 1,900. Justin Jefferson was second with
Okay,
16.
16.
Devontae was third. Jamar was fourth. Debo was fifth.
Okay. So I was definitely wrong on that one. But still, it's how do you not give someone that won a triple crown and was the best receiver in the playoffs last year and the Super Bowl? Like he dominated every game he was in. Cooper Cup was the reason why they got to the NFC Championship game too. Remember, he made the key catches in the NFC Championship game against my San Francisco 49ers. And
That's
then, of
true.
course, Donald made the plays in the end. But if it wasn't for Cooper Cup, and plus, we were a Jaquowski Tart interception away from beating them in that game. And I don't see how you give it to anybody else. I get it. The quarterback is the most important player on the team, but Cooper Cup is the reason why the Rams won the Super Bowl. So he's the reason why they went as far as they did. Of course, they had Matt Stafford that helped out, but Matt Stafford wasn't even in the MVP conversation in the end. So there's no point of even giving it to anyone else other than Cooper Cup. Now, here's where I may disagree, though.
Okay, okay, let's get it.
Based off of last season, since Aaron Rodgers did win the MVP, I believe he should have been ranked ahead of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I get it that Brady had a great year, and at his age, yes, I get it. But Aaron Rodgers won MVP.
Mm-hmm.
MVP, number one seed again, even though they lost, it's the number one seed again.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have put him ahead of Brady because he won MVP. I mean, I can't really say anything else. He won MVP, back to back MVP, and it's based off of last season. Based off of last season, if you put it based off of last season, Aaron Rodgers was the better quarterback last year. Now that's just what I say about that. I think Aaron Rodgers deserved to be better, to be ahead of Tom Brady, but I don't think it's like a big issue if you put Brady ahead of him because look at what he did at his age, 45 years old, over 4,000 yards in the playoffs, had another playoff win, probably could have, probably would have faced the, probably would have been in the, faced the 49ers in the NFC Championship game if it wasn't for the Rams. So,
Mm-hmm. So I think Brady should go over him. All right. Now Brady led the NFL in passing yards and TDs. Right? Passing yards. Aaron Rodgers was 10th in the NFL. All right. The reason why Aaron Rodgers won MVP because they were the number one seed. If they were never the number one seed, he was not going to win MVP because he did not have an historic season. Now,
they,
granted,
they had the number one seed and he didn't throw double digit interceptions
he
again.
had 4 interceptions. I give you that. He had 4 interceptions, 37 touchdowns. I get you that. You know, but if they were not the number one seed, he was not winning the MVP. So it was more like because nobody that year had a historic season. You had people like Jonathan Taylor who went off, but they didn't make the playoffs. You had Cooper Cup who had a great season, but they never would give MVP to a receiver. They just won't do that. So nobody defensively besides Trayvon Diggs, but then he got burnt up too many times, and they
Yeah.
definitely not gonna give no uh, MVP to a defensive player. So they gotta give it to a quarterback or a running back. But the running back that was actually good didn't make the playoffs. So they gave it to Aaron Rodgers all the strength of to me. Him and Tom Brady playing in the same conference. Tom Brady, they both had good seasons, but Aaron Rodgers won number one seed. Tom Brady did what he did with Chris Godwin missing games. Gronk missing games. AB not even playing half the season.
Mhm.
Leonard Fournette missed some games. All that stuff happened, and Tom Brady still led the league in touchdowns and receiving passing yards. Get to the playoffs, he gets a W and lose to the Rams by a field goal at the end of the game when Aaron Rodgers, who gets to the playoffs, did not even throw a touchdown in the playoffs when he was a number one seed.
Mhm.
So I gotta take away stock from Aaron Rodgers for that playoff performance. So for real, like I said, Aaron Rodgers won MVP by default. But I think Tom Brady, if you want to give it to a quarterback, he played the best football last year as a quarterback, in my opinion.
That's a good argument. Plus, I guess to kind of throw it in there too, Aaron Rodgers had the number one seed back to back seasons and lost both games. So, but
That's
I'm still gonna go A Rod.
a yeah, A-Rod tough. A-Rod tough. A-Rod tough.
Go A Rod. I mean, 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's hard to go an entire season and only throw 4 picks.
That's true though. That's true. That's true. I mean, when you 10th in passing yards, you're not throwing the ball that much. I get it. You can throw 4 picks. You only throw 4 picks. No, he was
Hey,
10th in passing yards. I mean,
not his fault. He got two good running backs back there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing. I mean, and then he had the best receiver in the world, Devontae Adams. So I mean, I like Aaron Rodgers, but I think Tom Brady. If you want to give it to a quarterback, deservedly so, Tom Brady. At first, I was like, nah, and then after I thought about it, I was like, if you give it to a quarterback, it would be Brady. It shouldn't be Rodgers because he won MVP. The media voted that. Don't forget that the media voted him be MVP. The players voted this one. So and maybe it's the Rodgers hate. People like Brady more than Rodgers, I guess. I mean, probably. So I don't know, but
That's
I'll
true.
pick Brady though.
Rodgers don't help himself out.
He don't, especially with that vaccine situation. He just,
Yeah.
uh, you know,
No need to
uh,
lie about it. Just be honest, man.
Joe, come on, you need to add more context. I mean, did you not hear the context? I said he did this without Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin did miss 3 games, all right, not a lot, but it was still 3. Gronk only played 12 games, so he missed 5 games. AB only played 7. AB played 7 games. And Leonard Fournette, I'm not sure how many games he played, but he missed some games too. And in the playoffs, he missed his offensive line. I know the Rams committed turnover and all that stuff, but Aaron Rodgers didn't even throw a touchdown in the playoffs. Not a touchdown. So if I'm gonna give it to a quarterback, I'm going to give it to Tom Brady. Yeah, they was fumbling. You're right. Yeah, they were fumbling. He
Yeah,
also was his
they were
offensive
close
line
to
was
getting, they were close to getting blown out in that game. I mean, and Aaron Rodgers just went against a top 5 defense, so he can't beat us when it comes to the playoffs. It's just
completing.
his kryptonite. So,
Can't beat nobody in the playoffs ever since 2009.
oh, well, except Dallas.
Except that. That was good. All right. Speaking of Dallas, we got to talk about Dallas. All right. Tom Smith got an injury. We're gonna talk about. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.